Hello, my dear viewers. I am Seema Chhoriya, and I welcome you all to another insightful session on great principles. Life isn't just about darkness or light. Rather, it's about finding light within the darkness. For heart full of hope, to love without inhibition, and mind full of determination to do wonderful things, obstacles are stepping stones, and challenges are bridges that help you cross over to the best side of your life. I'm here with my enthusiastic guest of today, Dr. Kritika Kaushal, Principal, the Millennium School, Mohali. Welcome to Great Principles, ma'am. It's truly an honor to have you today.
Thank you so much, Seema. Totally, pleasure is all mine. And I must congratulate the entire team of great principals for taking this wonderful initiative, I must say. So, once again, thank you so much for having me here today.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It truly motivates us. So let's begin where it all started. So, you know, generally, like when we are student, we all try to think what I want to be when I grow up, and that is, something you also thought of, and it made sense to you all at then. So tell me, what made you choose your career in education, the not so glamorous world?
Thank you so much, Seema. I must say, very interesting question you've taken to start this conversation. But I think you beautifully said in the beginning, just like every other student, जैसे जब हम लोगों का एक typical एक mindset होता है, being Indians, 10th, 12th, if you are getting good grades, please mark that grades, then you have to have opt for medical or non-medical stream. And I also followed the same pattern. Okay, fine, medical, because I think for me teaching was a big no during that time. To your surprise, you'll be surprised to know that for me I was never into teaching. जब भी पेरेंट्स ने कभी बात किया है या कभी बोला कि ओके फाइन व्हाट नेक्स्ट आफ्टर दिस आफ्टर कॉलेज once if you're not cleared the medical, that was also a big shock. After taking up medical, वो एक trauma हो जाता है. Oh my god, you've not cleared the medical, now what's next? And I kept going with my different fields and my degrees, but teaching was nowhere, nowhere, no goal, no point. दूर दूर तक teaching का नामो निशान नहीं था. So I think it was more or less like by chance, not by choice. But by the time I entered this profession, trust me, Seema, something changed inside me. Something touched me, Uh, I realized that this is actually my real passion when I actually left my first assignment. The kind of creativity I used to see in my classrooms, the unconditional love, and the way I got connected with those inquisitive souls full of fun, love, and creativity. I mean, for them, world is totally different. And I think that made me realize that this is what I want to do in my life. And today, you can see me here. So I think it was more of like by chance, but this is how by chance I got to know what is my real passion.
Amazing. You have an interesting journey, ma'am, I must admit. So, what would be your take for our youth? These days, our youth don't want to opt teaching, like just like we were. Teaching was the last choice, but until and unless we step into it, we don't realize how beautiful this is. So, what is your message to my youth viewers out there?
Seema, very well said. Because that's why I was mentioning in the beginning when you asked me that how I landed up here. Because just like any other youth, when I was young, I also always used to say teaching is a no-no thing for me. Teaching to nahi karna hai, because every
Mhm.
other profession seems to be more interesting, and everything is more meaningful, apart from teaching. But I think to all my youth viewers and to all the youth around us, I think I would just like to say that always look, what actually matters is that if you really want to bring that change, you have to be that change first. I think that is something I would really pass on to my young viewers, because I think teaching is a kind of profession where learning is going to remain continued throughout your life. And if you are going to fall in love with this process of learning, trust me, then you will realize that what actually real life is and how we can bring the change in so many lives. So be part of it. I think teaching should never be in, no list.
Great. I think it's a very practical advice that our youth can have because our youth believes in doing. So to all my youth viewers, अब complain करना बंद करो कि quality teachers नहीं है. Be the change, be the part of change yourself. Step into this
Absolutely.
wonderful procession. Yeah.
Right.
And like Kritika ma'am rightly said, आपको कंप्लेन नहीं करना है और आप खुद करो तो चेंज अपने आप हो जाएगा. सो बी द चेंज. सो ऑन दिस वंडरफुल नोट वी मूव टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन ऑफ ours. So ma'am, we are just a tiny speck in the universe, and yet we can rule it. We all have the will and desire. It takes a lot of hard work and preparedness to face life challenges, and schools are minuscule learning grounds of the world out there. So tell me, how can we prepare our children for global readiness in life? We all know pandemic has made us globally connected. Today, the world is open for our students out there.
I think, Seema, for your this question, answer lies in your question itself. You have already given the answer. We're talking about global. We're talking about change. We're talking about acceptance also. So I think pandemic. You have already given the example. Pandemic itself is the biggest example. How beautifully we have actually adapted the change. And I think when it comes down to a life, change is inevitable, right? And so is the education. It is progressive and it is changing with every passing day. And we have seen it. Just let's go back pre-pandemic times, right? And I think you will wonder what ma'am is actually saying. I would really take COVID-19 as an opportunity also, because it has given us that time to pause and look back, to reflect, and it has given us a chance to redefine and reform our education ecosystem. And when I'm saying we, that means we educators and parents are biggest stakeholders. Because जब तक ये mindset change नहीं होगा, जिस education reform की मैं बात कर रही हूँ वो possible नहीं होगा. We have to understand. We are talking, हमें बच्चे future के लिए बनाने हैं. कौन से future के लिए? We are not sure about that. What kind of jobs we are preparing them for? हमें पता नहीं है कौन सी jobs होंगी. But parents का अभी तक mindset, Seema, sad to share this with you, because हमने practically pandemic में देखा है. Every house has got converted into school itself. That was the digital transition and journey.
Right.
And hats off to all the teachers, that how remarkably they have completed this journey. सब लोग डिजिटल savvy हो गए हैं, डिजिटल एरा में पहुंच चुके हैं, बट स्टिल चेंज इज हैपनिंग, एंड मुझे लगता है स्टूडेंट्स के लिए सबसे ज्यादा डिफिकल्ट है ये चेंज को अडेप्ट करना, टू एक्सेप्ट दिस चेंज. एंड आई थिंक देयर इज अ गैप which we are not able to see as educators, as parents. We have to be partners for this. I mean, we have to and we have to be really sure that what exactly we are trying to do. Are we really preparing our children for future? What kind of future we are talking about, which is going to have all robots and artificial intelligence is going to take place. Every school is, I mean, running a fantastic curriculum and boasting that हमारे पास future learning skills हैं, we are going to teach that, this and that. But which future they're talking about, I just want to ask everybody. I want to ask my parents also. कौन से future के लिए आप prepare कर रहे हैं? Were we prepared कि COVID-19 हमें hit करेगा? No, we were not. What we were having with us? Skills. Skills of acceptance, of collaboration, of thinking creatively, thinking out of the box, right? To embrace the change. We were having the soft skills, I think, right? So I think this is a high time that we really need to understand and, take that, pause and rethink. Let's unlearn and relearn. There has to be a paradigm shift now from IQ to EQ. Parents need to understand that marks और रिपोर्ट कार्ड से कुछ नहीं होगा. लेट्स नॉट प्रेशराइज आवर चिल्ड्रन. आप फ्यूचर के लिए बात करें, नोबडी इज गोइंग टू आस्क यू कितना कट ऑफ आपका बच्चे का आया है. विल दैट रिपोर्ट कार्ड गोइंग टू हेल्प योर चाइल्ड टू सर्वाइव एंड एक्सेल इन फ्यूचर? हमें तो पता ही नहीं है फ्यूचर का. बट yes, we can ensure what exactly is going to help the child is his imagination, his creativity, and his soft skills. We must not forget, जब हम बात करते हैं कि बच्चों को हम लर्निंग एक्सपीरियंस दे रहे हैं, हैंड्स ऑन एक्सपीरियंस भी. पेरेंट्स चाहते हैं कि बच्चों को लर्निंग बाय डूइंग होना चाहिए. स्कूल्स आर रनिंग डिफरेंट करिकुलम्स. They are talking about experiential learning. They're talking about various other skills also, 21st century skills we have named. But I think one important factor we are missing. Where is heart? We cannot ignore heart. There has to be integration of all these three H elements: head, hand, and heart in place. I think then our kids are going to be ready for the future. And we must understand that we don't have to prepare them only for best of the universities. We have to prepare them for universe. And then no matter what challenge is going to come there to their way, they are going to succeed and they are going to fly high. I think they're really going to soar high. I think this is what is my take on it.
I think I'm completely blown away by the answer you gave. There are so many thoughts which always, keep on coming in my mind. 21st century skills, ye hota kya hai bhai? Who has seen these skills? Do we know that what is maybe today you are teaching and tomorrow that work will be taken up by the robots? So what kind
Absolutely.
of people we are preparing? Is it, matlab, all
Seema,
talking about skills?
exactly.
So
And sorry to intervene, Seema. COVID-19 is itself a biggest example. Did
true.
we ever think that every house is going to be turned into a school itself? I mean, teachers, look at how teachers, they have entered every single bedroom, you know. Students are sticking to, and they're literally glued to their screens. What we are teaching, it's not about scores or grades or the curriculum in the books and, chapters. We really need to think and reflect upon this, I think.
Right. Absolutely, ma'am. I completely agree with you. And I think ma'am has shared beautifully the 3H Funda, the 3H strategy. That is what every school needs to work upon: the head, heart, and the hand. They all three need to work in sync. A child needs to put all three together. So I think this is the most beautiful takeaway from this answer, that focus on building the children who have more collaborative skill, more thinking skill, like everything, for me, for every problem, there is an application. It's as simple as that. But how do you make that application more simplified, or how do you identify whether the problem lies or not? So these are the skill that we are talking about, right?
I think for future ready generation, when we have to prepare our generation for future ready, we have to have future ready classrooms where the teachers are going to give that kind of space to our children where they can actually go, and implement their own imagination and creativity.
Yeah, so I think going forward there will be a lot of DIY classroom, or learn on your own, and teachers are teaching, students are teaching themselves, and teacher is just a facilitator. So this kind of classrooms is that is what required. So it was an amazing eye opener answer. It made me actually think, what did I study in my school? Am I applying it in my career today? So
Yes.
there are a lot of thoughts on this. So beautiful answer out there. Moving ahead to our next question, ma'am. Our family rejoices in our success, and we are so grateful for all the support we get from them. A school is a home away from home, and your home and your staff is your extended family today, and that is equally deserving of appreciation. So how important is teamwork and team's respect for a school leader's success?
Very important question, Seema. I think it is not only about me. For every person, whether the person is a leader or a head of the team, I think very important in every life, in everybody's life also. जिसको कहते हैं, when we actually start replacing I with we, even illness is going to convert into wellness, and that is what is my mantra also. For me, my I owe my entire success to my team. Whatever I am today, I think the entire credit goes to my team, because it's my team, which is actually bringing my ideas into reality. My team who's taking care of, of everything. हम बहुत बार ऐसा करते हैं, आई थिंक पेरेंट्स भी सब कुछ टीचर्स के ऊपर आके निकाल देते हैं, राइट? स्टूडेंट्स दे
Right.
हैव देयर ओन इश्यूज, वो भी टीचर्स पे निकाल देते हैं. एट द एंड आई थिंक I have that space for my teachers and that huge respect, not only for my teachers, I think for the entire teaching fraternity, because the way they have taken the front foot during this pandemic is beyond my, I mean, I have a complete respect. And when I talk about my own organization and my own institution, I think we are working as a team, and we are a team not because we are working together, but because we respect, care, and trust each other. That is the biggest factor. I completely trust my team. And I think when you give that space and ownership to your team, then you have success stories, endless success stories. And I think for me, if एक बच्चा अगर मुझे आके ये बोल जाता है ना that ma'am, I'm missing my that teacher, that makes my day, I think. And trust me, Seema, we are getting such continuous messages. Even if one teacher is on leave or something, pandemic में हमने बहुत face किया है. When teachers, parents were requesting, ma'am, please एक दिन बच्चे को school आने दीजिए. That was my biggest achievement. So you see how beautifully my teachers have earned this trust, this bond, the connection they have with their students. I think I'm just enjoying the success because of my team, and the credit goes to my entire team only. So Kudos to my team.
So true. Today you cannot work in silos, and especially running an organization like school where you're dealing with so many lives, you need the
Yes.
team which you can trust upon. And when you give them the ownership, as you rightly said, that is when success stories are written. Ma'am, I am sure each one of you have always believed in the strength our teachers have. They were so apprehensive of technology, and suddenly when there was no option, they all passed with flying colors, I should say. And there is
Yes.
one more thought in my mind. Every day we hear the stories of Byju's, Whitehead, Unacademy, Udemy. So what are they doing? They are just training our own teachers, and they are making them a global teacher. Today these teachers are sitting and teaching to the entire world out there. If these companies can do but just by investing a little more on teacher training, we at school level can definitely do this, because it's the same teachers. They are not coming out from somewhere else in the world. They are same Indian origin teacher. So I think what is more required to all my school leaders out there, this is for each one of you: invest on your biggest asset. This
Yes.
fruit, or whose fruit success, the success of the hard works, you are enjoying the fruits of their hard work. So it's your onus also to ensure that you're training them, so that the success keeps coming back to school and the laurels for the students and you too. So this thought always had there in my mind. I have so many friends who are working in such companies, and I hear from them what kind of training is there, what kind of processes are there. So I think just a little tweak in our current system of teacher training is required, and we'll see wonders happening.
Yeah, definitely, because they are dealing with this, Generation Z, right?
Yeah.
Millennials, they are not millennials anymore. They are going from millennials to Generation Z. And definitely, very well said, Seema. They really need to be upskilled and upgraded and equipped. We really need to empower our teachers. And very proudly, I can say that I have seen that drastic change in my team and my teachers, when they have entered this digital era. So definitely we need to invest more, when it comes down to training part and equipping them with the, all 21st century soft skills, I would say.
Certainly. So, to all my dear team leaders out there, go ahead and empower your teachers. That is the right kind of invest, which I'm sure you will never, never, ever regret. Rather, you will say that is the best thing I ever did. So, let's move on in our questions next segment. And it says that, a good peer person is critical for inspiration, motivation, and support, along with able guidance if necessary. So, tell me, ma'am, who is that educationist you look upon for your advice, inspiration, and support?
Very difficult question, Seema, I must say. I think, Seema, in my case, I think I take in bits and pieces from every other educationist. Yeah, right. Everybody is doing remarkable in their different fields and segments, and I'm a lifelong learner, so I keep learning. I keep filling my bucket with my takeaways. But yes, I think to your answer, if you can allow me, because कभी कभी होता है ना कि जरूरी नहीं है कि आपको inspiration सिर्फ अपनी field से मिले, right?
True.
So I do have a person in my life, my sister, I would say, though she's not from this background, she's not into education sector, but I think she's my biggest inspiration because she has always helped me uh, to take lessons from my mistakes. And she is my biggest critic also. She keeps on telling me, because I think what she has helped me in all these years, definitely that chance episode was also because of her, right? So she keeps on telling me, that success is not about being the best. It's about reinventing and getting better always. So I always look up to her, and I think she's my go-to person. So apart from all my educationists out there, I think she is my biggest source of inspiration, and she keeps me motivating and keeps me going. And apart from her, I think my team again, they are my biggest source of inspiration. Seeing them working relentlessly 24/7, they are on their toes. I think that is something which keeps me going. That's my biggest driving force. And third, I would like to sum up with my students. When I see
Yeah.
them with great smiles, I think that is again my source of inspiration.
So true. The people, those whom we work around every day, when they are our inspiration, that is when we love to come to work and we enjoy our work and we are ready to face any challenges, let it become, because our team is such amazing one. So to all my dear viewers, Again, your team is your biggest strength, so take care of them. It's not only about on professional level. At times, go and understand what is going on in their families and see how beautifully you all are connected together. So on this beautiful note of connecting with your team on personal level also, we have reached to the very interesting segment of the show. This is called the fantastic rapid fire round. So you have to answer in a word or a statement would do. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'll try, Seema.
All right. So here comes our very first question. You spend your recreational time indulging in activities like,
um, Dancing, because you mentioned it
dancing.
has to be fun facts, so I need to show you my this side as well.
Great. All right. Your morning motivation to yourself is,
Uh, I think just this idea that I have to start new day, new set of challenges are going to be there, and my team is waiting for me, and my students are also waiting for me. That is my morning
all right.
motivation.
Great. So you mentioned that you love to explore new places. So tell me the two places you have recently explored, before or during the pandemic.
Uh, I think recent, yeah, before pandemic, definitely. It was Kerala, and I think the kind of peace and the kind of connection I felt over there, that was something mesmerizing, and I would definitely love to go back and enjoy that vacation mode again.
So do you agree that it's a God's country?
Absolutely, without any doubt. It is, it is. And second one was, I think, Manali, my
Wow.
all-time favorite. Mountains, they keep calling me and I keep visiting. So it's both mountains and beaches.
All right. So now comes to the next question. If you had the great Aladdin's Chirag, which no one has, and suppose you get it today, what would be your three wishes that you would want to?
Oh my God. This is really difficult. Three wishes.
बराबर है ना, इतना सारा लिस्ट में है, सिर्फ तीन कैसे मांगना
Actually,
है?
Seema, I was just about to say, Seema, three से मेरा क्या होगा, right?
अभी ये
Um,
चिराग तीन ही विश देता है, मैम क्या करें?
Right. But I think I would just like to answer that instead of asking for three wishes, मैं चिराग से जिनी से यही बोलूंगी कि at least give me that wisdom and strength कि मैं तीन से ना बोल के I should have that contentment that whatever I'm having right now I should be happy and satisfied with that. I think
Wow, what a lovely
rather
thought.
than wishing for something else and new.
Absolutely. I think I really, really love this answer because we all, whatever we have, we always desire for more. And that is what human nature is. It's
Yes.
really difficult to stay contented, to stay satisfied, and treasure what you have. So, to all my dear viewers, treasure what you have. And your greatest asset, I suppose, for each one of us is our children. So, invest your time with them. That is what they need. So, now moving to the last question in this segment. Who is your favorite actor and which is your favorite movie? And are you a movie buff?
Mm. Yes, I am, but I don't get much of time these days. And favorite actor, very difficult question, Seema. But I think maybe Amitabh Bachchan.
All right. Great. And which is your favorite movie then?
Oh God, I very difficult to recollect right now. But I think I like all movies, especially which I'm able to see with my children. Because
Mhm.
even if you're talking about the social media, we need to understand that what kind of values we are, transferring, or we are, हम बच्चों के साथ बैठ के जो चीज नहीं देख सकते हैं, I think there's no point. And
Right.
जब हम एजुकेशन सेक्टर की बात करते हैं, इट्स नॉट ओनली व्हाट वी आर टीचिंग देम थ्रू बुक्स। बच्चे हर जगह से सीख रहे हैं, चाहे वो आप एक मूवी देख रहे हैं, आप गाना सुन रहे हैं। तो आई थिंक एवरी मूवी मुझे अच्छी लगेगी जिसमें आप कोई भी एक तरह की वैल्यू अगर आपको मिलती है, वैल्यू इन टर्म्स ऑफ अगर बच्चे ये सीखते हैं कि दैट हाउ वी नीड टू स्टे रूटेड, राइट? आजकल आप देखेंगे देयर इज अ गैप, ह्यूज गैप। Children, they don't feel
Right.
connected with their parents, right?
True.
So
True.
that is also somewhere lacking. So I think we need to have more and more of entertainment working on these areas जहाँ पे values related कुछ creations हो which can be shown to our children also, where parents and children can both sit together and enjoy, you know पॉपकॉर्न अभी तो सोचना पड़ता है पेरेंट्स को, कौन सी मूवी के लिए लेके जाना है, बच्चे को नहीं लेके जाना है, एंड कैन दे रियली टॉक अबाउट दीज थिंग्स? Yes,
Right.
to some extent it is good also because exposure is there, right? But पेरेंट्स का माइंडसेट उस तरह का चल रहा है, नहीं वे ये हमें बहुत जरूरी है, बिकॉज everything need to be on same page.
Right.
Excess of
Absolutely.
everything is bad. There has to be a balance, you know.
Yeah, and I think for these days, ma'am, when we were young, we used to wait desperately. All right, that's that week, and this movie is going to come now. And now it's like you non-stop. You're just streaming, 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 and there is no end to it. So I think there also some guidance is needed for our children that these platforms play with your psyche. That you human minds more want more and more and more. So some kind of guidance children need to absorb this kind of entertainment which is going on. So I think schools will also play a major role along with the parents out there in cutting out this kind of, I'll say, addiction. I think it's an addiction. The OTTs are addiction.
Yes, it is.
So wonderful. It was very interesting to know you in this segment. We came to know that you love mountains, you love dancing, and yes, you are a movie buff too. So it was great knowing you. Now, before we just wrap up this segment, there is one last question to you. Tell us about a funny or a weird incident in your life.
Seema, as such, I think there are and many, I mean, n number of incidents which I can say weird and funny. और जो इंसान ये बोलता है कि नहीं मेरी लाइफ में कोई फनी इंसिडेंट नहीं हुआ है या वियर्ड नहीं हुआ है, आई थिंक दैट पर्सन रियली इज नॉट लिविंग यू नो his or
True.
her life, because life is all about being messy and having bumpy, you know. So life is a roller coaster ride. So मेरे तो बहुत सारे ऐसे इंसिडेंट्स हैं, but I think I enjoy, you know, I enjoy every single day. चाहे वो challenging हो, चाहे वो funny रहा हो या weird रहा हो. I have my, you know, takeaway at the end, and that really helps me because I think it's always good to know and learn from your mistakes and always try to be better version of yourself. So I think मेरे लिए funny and weird is okay. I mean, it's part of my life, so I'm okay with it, and I really cannot uh, share one incident or one day which is very funny or very weird.
No worries. Granted, I can completely
That
understand.
note, I think I would just like to add on one more thing, that you know this thing also we need to help our children to understand, to embrace, you know, weirdness also, to have that confidence. आज अगर आप देखेंगे बच्चे बहुत shy feel करते हैं, you know, they don't,
True.
अगर कुछ funny
Yeah.
चीज हो जाती है, they lose their self esteem. So हमें लगता है, मुझे लगता है, as parents and as educators we must encourage them to embrace all these things also. These are part and parcel of life. फनी हुआ तो क्या हुआ, इट्स ओके, है तो आप ही के साथ हो, यू हैव गॉट समथिंग न्यू आउट ऑफ इट, कुछ तो हमें सीखने को मिलता ही है, या तो हमें पता चलेगा ये चीज नहीं करनी है, राइट? अगर अच्छा हुआ तो हम दोबारा करेंगे, सो देयर इज ऑलवेज अ लर्निंग इन दैट. सो लेट्स नॉट लेबल एनीथिंग कि ये फनी था, ये बहुत वियर्ड था. लेट्स name it as an experience, you know. We keep on experiencing things, so keep learning and let's keep experiencing.
Right, ma'am. I think you very nicely shared our vision of putting up this question here because when our students know, अच्छा मैम के साथ प्रिंसिपल मैम के साथ भी ऐसा हुआ था तो it's okay to कि ऐसा हो सकता है, it's normal, and we just need to just go away, go with it and go with the flow. So ma'am has completely explained why this question has been inserted in this segment. So this is the question which is common for all. This is not a customized one. So to all my students, it's okay. कभी कभी weird होना बहुत जरूरी है life में. You can never be perfect, so just come out of that perfect figure and live your life
Yes.
as ma'am mentioned. Right?
Yes, and rather I think you should be loud enough in saying that I'm imperfectly perfect. You know, perfect नाम की कोई चीज नहीं होती है. Just embrace your imperfections and say it loudly. I'm imperfectly perfect and I'm happy like that. Right?
So true, so true. So this was very interesting segment. We got to know so much today. So along with EQ, IQ, we also spoke lastly about happiness. Be happy to all my dear students and enjoy your life. Now we have reached to the last question of the show, which is called viewers choice question. So my viewers keep sending me a lot of question, and I think this one I have picked for you. They say that we all look to achieve, oh my god, this is also in perfection. See, that we all look to achieve perfection as per students laid down by our society, which is an absolute impossibility. We compare and talk to others good as better. What we forget is what? What is 9 is to you is 6 is to me. That is what is the perception, right? This is
Right.
why younger generation seems confused and beleaguered. So why do we always see the good in others as better than ours and add to our woes? घर में भी यही सुना है, शर्मा जी के बेटे से सीखो, उसको
I
देखो,
was
उसको
about to quote the same, Seema. Because this is what we are facing and we are dealing with it on a regular basis, on a daily basis. Because see, when I say life, I think for children it is much more difficult, to absorb everything. So many things are there. There are so many benchmarks which are already being set by their teachers, by their parents, by so-called principals as well. मेरे 10th बोर्ड का रिजल्ट अच्छा आना चाहिए, that pressure is given to the teachers. The pressure, teachers are going to transfer it to students. So I think first thing is that we need to accept and understand that there's no comparison. We need not to compare our lives with others. Why? Because we need to know the fact that every single human being which is born, I think God has gifted one or the other thing. Every individual is unique in its own way, and I think being educated, I truly believe this and I practice it. Right, I believe that every single child is having one or the other unique hidden talent, hidden potential. We just need to unleash that real potential. And when we start comparing, our lives or other with others, what exactly happened? आजकल ये बहुत ज्यादा ट्रेंड आई थिंक सोशल मीडिया की तरफ आई एम गोइंग टू हाईलाइट दैट व्हाट एग्जैक्टली हैपन. वो बच्चे सब देखते हैं लिव हैशटैग ब्लेस्ड लाइफ, राइट,
Yeah.
and or some sort of hashtags they are following. So what they are doing is they start comparing. Hi, uska to bahut acha chal raha hai, mera acha nahi chal raha hai. So what we are exactly doing is the minute you start comparing yourself with others, it's always like grass is greener on the other side. So what you actually doing? अपना ग्रास को तो देखा ही नहीं आपने. You stop looking and taking care of your own grass. तो जब आप उस चीज को कंपेयर करना शुरू करते हैं, आप अपनी एनर्जी वहां वेस्ट करते हैं, अपनी पावर वहां वेस्ट कर देते हैं. एंड एवरी सिंगल मिनट यू आर वेस्टिंग, यू आर लूजिंग योर पावर. So I would request all my dear children and all youth out there that stop comparing your lives with others. You never know whether, because at times you're comparing your lowest point with the highest of someone else. हाउ डू यू नो कि उसकी लाइफ में अप्स एंड डाउन्स नहीं आए थे? सब अच्छा अच्छा ही डालते हैं सोशल हैंडल्स पे, राइट? सो आई थिंक
Right.
फर्स्ट एंड foremost thing is that detox this social media wala thing. You need to sit back and reflect. You don't have to compare, right? Detox this thing, because जिसने वो hashtag के साथ अच्छा gloomy picture डाला है, which you are feeling fascinated after looking at it, you never know, मम्मा पापा से भी डांट पड़ के बैठा हो कि शर्मा जी के बेटे का स्कोर इतना ज्यादा आ गया, right? And I think
Right.
parents also need to understand this, yeah, because जब हम बात करते हैं, educators अकेले कुछ नहीं कर पाएंगे. We need to have that strong team.
True.
Parents and teachers, we have to be partners. तभी I think we can take this generation into our future ready classrooms and can look for future ready generation. अकेले नहीं हो पाएगा. और जब ये कंपैरिजन की बात है, मैंने पेरेंट्स को खुद देखा है that they keep on posting such posts on social handles. अपने बच्चों का हाईलाइट, ठीक है, शेयरिंग इज समथिंग डिफरेंट. देयर इज अदर पर्सपेक्टिव ऑफ शेयरिंग, बट tagging people and highlighting only good things and not talking about your low points and your, you know everybody has their own strengths. Embrace your uniqueness, right? अपने flaws जितना embrace करेंगे, start accepting yourself, right? Start accepting your mistakes also. Then I think the moment you learn this, that there is a, मजा जिसको कहते हैं कि अपने imperfections को enjoy कीजिए, stop comparing with others, because you are also, given that unique feature and characteristic from God, right? So I think, and as they say that sun and moon, you don't have to compare. They'll shine when the right time is going to come. So be either sun or moon. You have your own shine. Let that inner spark take its own time and keep shining, I think. So no need to compare yourself with others.
Right. And I think you rightly said that comparison should, stop from home first. Our parents need to understand that every person is individual and we need to celebrate the individuality, the
Yes.
uniqueness of that person. You rightly said this point. So, to my dear parents, don't do that. And yes, grass is always greener on the other side. But did you ever wonder it will be greener if you water it at the right time? So, focus on watering your own grass rather than just comparing it with the others. So, that was the wonderful answer given by ma'am here. She also highlighted how important a teacher is in the life of a student. Yes, of course, she is. She's the most visible person in the life of a parent and a student. So, teachers have a huge responsibility. They are the real architects of the society, and we all have huge respect and we all salute them for the great work that they are doing. So thank you so much, ma'am, for your time with us. You, Dr. Kritika, has everything that you said today was the need of the hour. And to help each other shine and smile, we need to work patiently with each other and or on our weakness also. And you also highlighted on how important it is to be, work as a collaborative team. The all the stakeholders, parents, educators, teachers, students, the school leaders all need to work together as a team, and then only we can see the much needed change. I thoroughly enjoyed today's conversation. It was super fun. And I couldn't even realize that we have crossed over 35 minutes. So
Oh
it
my
was
God.
brilliant, brilliant conversation today. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Seema. It was really wonderful connecting you. And thank you so much for giving me this platform where I got the chance to share my viewpoints with viewers. Thank you so much.